Our new mutants from his sectional X-Men are all grown up. And they're teaming with Miss Marvel. But one is missing. I don't know how I feel about that. Support this comic book series by visiting your LCS. My name is Doran. This is SEO Comics. We continue our covers of Age of Revelation with Expatriate X-Men. Number 1. Our story starts off 10 years in the future where we have Miss Marvel, and she's leading a team that consists of Bronze and a very, very, very surprised person that's underneath that helmet. Because if you was reading stuff from X-Men, we just got to know the character. Now they're scoping out this place. It's called the United States / Revelation Territory Zone 7. Really? It kind of looks like a prison. Now we already know about Miss Marvel and Bronze. The dude in a helmet is Reggie. Yeah, I didn't know how to use my powers just 2 issues back. Reggie. Actually, probably just 1 issue back. And his code name is Riff. Well, in the last book, kind of made a riff in time. And they traveled back to it, so I can see it. So Bronze is using her binoculars, seeing how many guards is around, and I guess he's saying that whatever intel that they got from whoever was good. Miss Marvel's like, man, I thought it was going to be 10 degrees warmer. So Reggie has a flask, and he's like, go ahead, sip on this. Miss Marvel's like, you know I don't drink. And he's like, it's dandelion tea. And Miss Marvel's like, aren't you guys freezing? And he's like, nah, we're from Chicago. Now, if memory serves me correct, Miss Marvel's from New Jersey. Last time I checked, it's pretty cold New Jersey too. Anyway, I guess they're ready to do whatever they need to do. They start doing a countdown, and Reggie opens up a rift. So they go through the portal, and they're right where they need to be. Now, in the Exceptional X-Men, he opened up portals where he can time travel to. But now it seems like he can open up portals just like Nightcrawler, Magic, Gateway, Manifold. But I don't think they can time travel through there, so Reggie looks like he's pretty powerful. So everything seems to be going down by the hitch. And then a possum decides that he is going to trip the alarm. And there are all kinds of U.S. soldiers on them, just drawing down on them with their M16s. Miss Marvel tells Riff to go ahead and to handle the extraction while they deal with these soldiers, so that's what he does. He opens up a Riff, he dips out. He shows up in this dude's cell, and the dude's like, are you here to kill me or should I have some optimism? And Reggie's like, I wouldn't advise optimism, but I'm not here to kill you. So dude's like, good, help me out because my leg is broke. Reggie's like, I got you. He teleports back to Miss Marvel and Bronze. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I guess they must have handled the soldiers. But no, they didn't. They're still getting blasted on, and Reggie brought the dude right where the soldiers are at. I'm like, how smart was that? And exactly what you think happened. The dude gets shot. So they get the hell out of there. They regroup in the woods. And Miss Marvel's like, okay, lesson learned. Let's do this again. Do-over. And they go right back several minutes later because of Reggie. The most powerful teleporter I have ever seen. I won't say the most powerful. It's not like he can maybe teleport halfway across the universe like Gateway. But to time travel, that's pretty powerful. So they go back several minutes later. They account for the possum this time by just getting rid of his little ass. They get the guy, and everything seems to be going down by the hitch. This time, Bronze and Miss Marvel grab some weapons and supplies that they need, and everybody goes to the rift without anybody knowing anything. So they teleport back, and it's Melee that's waiting on them, and she's on a ship, but it's being attacked by the U.S. Army, and they got some new, like, crewmates, I guess you could say, since they're on a ship. And why is one of them Dupe? Dupe is on this team. Dupe. Now, if you think I'm dismissing Dupe because he looks like Slimer, it's quite the opposite. I'm wondering what's he doing on this team because he is so powerful. Do yourself a favor. You don't know anything about Dupe. Just go to his Comixology and look at all the different powers and abilities that he has. It's crazy. But there is one ship, and it seems to be there are at least 3 or 4 of these army vessels, so they're definitely outgunned. So then Melee's like, all right, it's time to do a jump. Her and Reggie like combine powers, and all of a sudden, boop, ship just disappears. And it appears somewhere else on the mighty Mississippi. So now that they're safe, Melee's like, as it was saying, welcome to the Dragonfly, and I'm Captain Melee. And this is the flotilla. And they have a floating army. So the mutant that got rescued is like, so what are you guys exactly? And Miss Marvel's like, it really kind of depends on the day. But normally we're the Expatriate X-Men. So they take him to his quarters, and they tell him he can get some rest. And when he wakes up, they'll give him some food. And he goes, thank you. Thank you for saving my life. And Melee goes, you're welcome. It's our pleasure. So as our heroes are walking from one ship to the submarine and everybody's cheering them, Melee's like, enough celebrating. I'm back to work. We'll feast tonight. The door slams, and then her expression changes. And they get straight into arguing with each other. I mean, Melee's going to Miss Marvel. Bronze has to defend Miss Marvel. Like, it's pretty crazy. Riv says through this whole process that somebody, I guess, died a few times. But he's like, no harm, no foul. Now, if that was me, I'd have hit it with a Jay-Z. I'd have been like, what? Who? But then all of a sudden, the computer monitor starts talking and goes, hello, Blue Dasher. I thought we had an appointment. And then we see it's Mystique. Now, if you're a fan of this channel, you've been rocking with me for a while. You know we covered the Mystique series. And we know at the end of that series, she was not doing good. Oh no. Now, we don't know if she was doing bad because Fabian Cortez amplified her powers and was just too much for her body, or whether it's from what Magneto was suffering from. Even though now that I think about it, in Amazing X-Men #1, Magneto kind of looked just fine. So maybe Beast discovered a cure for what Magneto was suffering from, and maybe he gave it to Mystique. Maybe she was suffering from that. Who knows? All I know is she looks fine right now. So Mystique is pretty much being Mystique. She's like, oh, please, don't let me interrupt your lover's quarrel. And then she's like, congratulations on securing Adrian Starr, also known as Lyrebird. Now, she explains how he got caught in Denver and he's been held for 184 days. But during that time, he has intel on pretty much what's been going on the inside of the U.S. military, like strategic maps, names, date of birth, and next of kin of key personnel, inventory of food and medical supplies, and the whereabouts of several mutants of interest. So then Bronze is like, it's no problem, we'll get Lyrebird to the Limbo lands, and if he trusts us, then we'll get some key intel for ourselves along the way. So what's your booking fee, Mystique? And she's like, I have my reasons for Lyrebird to get to the Dark Child, but for right now, I'll keep those confidential. And then Miss Marvel's like, we're taking a lot of risks, Mystique. And Mystique's like, please, I pretty much handed you that dude on a platter, so don't give me that. So then Mystique, being Mystique, is like, you know what, just give him there. She hangs up, and then they start to talk about the best way to go to try to get him to the Limbo lands, but then they kind of start arguing amongst themselves again. Pretty much Miss Marvel made a deal with Mystique without going over it with everybody else, and they're kind of pissed off about it because they felt like that they should have been in the loop before they made this deal with Mystique. But then Melee kind of goes off by herself, and she's talking on a line to somebody else, and she's making a deal to make sure that Lyrebird never makes it to Limbo. And where in the hell is Alejandro in all this? This is the end of the book. We have no Alejandro. If you're going to have a book with all these exceptional X-Men in it, you can't leave out Alejandro.